Welcome to Egypt.
I cannot believe I find myself in Egypt. You have to really come here to appreciate and take it all in, because what you see on documentaries or photos, it just doesn't even compare to seeing it with your own eyes.
I felt at times as though I was stepping back thousands of years, and I've just loved every minute of it.
I always thought of Egypt just pyramids and Valley of the King's tombs, but I didn't think about temples like Karnak Temple, Edfu Temple, Philae Temple on the island. It just blew me away completely, the size of these things and the detail in the hieroglyphics. And to hear Rania explain them to us, and she is so enthusiastic. It's very hard not to get caught up in it. It's just so exciting to be here.
We can't say enough really about combining both the cruise and a land tour together is sort of the best of both worlds. You have time to relax while you're on the ship, and it is really just perfect.
I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed speaking with the Egyptian people. They smile from their heart here. I want you to come take this trip. It's a once in a lifetime.
This tour of Egypt begins in the capital city, Cairo, where we'll marvel at the pyramids and Sphinx of Giza. Next, we fly to our Nile River cruise in either Luxor or Aswan, depending on the direction of the cruise. Before beginning our cruise in Aswan, we fly to see the massive rock temples of Abu Simbel. Next, a relaxing Nile cruise takes us to incredible ancient temples in Komombo, Edfu, Karnak, and Luxor. Then we conclude our journey back in Cairo.
One of the most exciting places we've been, of course, is magical the world over, is the Great Pyramids, which we found absolutely fascinating.
This was 4,500-year-old ruins that looked like they could have been built 200 years ago. I never thought I would have a chance to come here and see this.
It is the culmination of a lifelong dream to be here, and I would do it all over again.
For me, it actually brought tears to my eyes when I saw this magnificent antiquity that I've always, all my life, hoped to see.
The Sphinx, looking at it, I was struck in the guts by it. There is something majestic and magic about this object. It's profound, and it's something that can't be described, and it can't really be shared unless you see it with wide open eyes.
Cairo itself as a city nowadays, we're talking of more than 20 million people. So Cairo is interesting, it is picturesque, it is colorful, and it is the Egyptian Museum, the treasures of King Tutankhamun.
Standing in front of King Tut's death mask, it looked like he could speak, and it just had my heart pounding. Then I'll have it in my mind for the rest of my life.
Memphis was the first capital of Egypt, and nowadays it became like an open-air museum where we have the largest statue for Ramesses II in Egypt there. And then to go back in history to see the start of building pyramids, which is the step pyramid. Saqqara is the first time for the ancient Egyptian to use stones. So Saqqara is very special.
Then you fly to the south of Egypt, which is strange because we call it Upper Egypt. That's the direction of the Nile.
Our tour manager took us on a tour of the Aswan market. What an experience that was, to see all of the different things that Egypt has to offer.
Well, being in a Nubian village is a different experience because they have their own culture, they have their own language, they love singing, so you have to go there to a Nubian village to enjoy the atmosphere of a Nubian house.
Abu Simbel was wonderful. It's huge, the scale you cannot believe.
When you're walking down the pathway and you see these massive statues, they are so huge. Oh my heavens, an experience that just went straight to my heart.
I love seeing Philae Temple. We got on a boat to see this temple on an island, and we saw the scale and size of a temple and also lots of hieroglyphics for the first time. It's beautiful.
Komombo. This is my favorite actually. It's the only one temple in Egypt that is dedicated to two gods at the same time who were enemies yet worshipped in the same place.
And then when you reach Edfu temple, it's a very impressive temple.
We visit the temple of Horus, the falcon-headed god, 237 BC.
Edfu, it's the best preserved and the second largest in Egypt.
When we went to Karnak Temple, it was just so huge. The scale of it was something I could not have imagined in advance. I was like, oh my gosh, this is surreal that we are here.
Luxor Temple was a great sight to see at night. And you could really see the detail in the pillars and the columns and Ramses II. So that was a sight to see.
There I was in 3D, right immersed in the middle of it at night. And it was just come alive for me. It really was absolutely fantastic.
As long as we're in Luxor, we have to see the Valley of the Kings and to be inside the tombs. This is quite an experience.
With the vivid colors still remaining for almost 33 centuries, these are wonders that should be seen.
They look as if they were painted yesterday.
And then after that, we go to the temple of Queen Hatshepsut, this mighty queen of Egypt.
She has one of the most unique temples embraced by the mountain.
I just was able to gobble up this gorgeous country, and I'll miss it.
We have traveled with Gate1 now about 8 times now, all over the world. I'd highly recommend Gate1 to anybody looking for good quality, excellent tour guides, and value for money.
It was just nice to have everything in one package. You didn't have to worry about how you were going to get to where you want to go. It was great.
The value is unbelievable. They have us staying at very nice, comfortable places where I feel very safe.
Enjoyed the cruise tremendously. It has been absolutely fabulous.
I loved going down the Nile and seeing the landscape that I never expected to see. Little kids, they'd be at the edge waving to us and hollering at us. And you'd see animals and everything. You just see life, and it has its own pace when you're going down the Nile.
What keeps us coming back to Gate1 is to have magnificent guides, and the guide that we have on this trip, Nadine, she is fantastic.
I adore my country, everything in it, and I want the visitors of Egypt to see it with my eyes. I want them to enjoy it as I do.
I was expecting a tour guide, not an Egyptologist. Egyptologists in Egypt are committed to keeping this alive and preserving this heritage.
I personally believe deep inside my heart it's here in Egypt, but it belongs to the whole world.
At Gate1, we will do our best to make it the trip of a lifetime for you.
Come and see us. It's an unforgettable time. Promise you the best pictures ever.
If you have the blessing to be able to go to Egypt, go.
As we say here in Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome to Egypt.